everybody, welcome to Wised Up. This is when another millennial starts a podcast. And yeah, that's basically exactly what this is. This is the first episode of this, so basically it's gonna be the garbage episode. It's kind of like when you're making pancakes. The first pancake is the sacrificial one. Or like the first child is the one you make all the mistakes with, or just whatever. I can say that because I'm the oldest. But this is something that's new for me. And just something that I think is going to benefit both me and a lot of people, especially in the trying times that the world is in at the moment. So a little bit about basically what this is. This is basically just going to be an intro. Who am I? I am basically nobody. I am a woman in her 20s who's semi-mentally stable. I went to a small high school, small town, went to community college for 2 years, and then went to a university in an even smaller town for 2 more years, got a bachelor's in broadcast media and journalism, and went straight into working into radio because I really love the idea of just getting on and telling people about music and just connecting with people and not having to see the reaction on their face when you say something ridiculous, which is kind of the same premise of this. So it's one of the main reasons I wanted to get back into doing this. Like I said, semi-mentally stable. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm on that bottom end of the millennial spectrum. And I feel like I have learned a lot so far, and I have so much more that I need to learn about myself, about things around me. And I don't have a lot of people to really talk to about it, to tell people about, or tell to people. So I miss being behind a mic, and if this is a reason to get my voice out there, while keeping this face that was definitely made for radio behind the scenes, I'm going to. And the premise of this whole spiel is to keep it as real as possible, minimal editing, so you can probably hear my deep breathing every time because I'm nervous about starting this. I'm scared I'm gonna go over time. My main thing for this is to keep it as real and raw as possible. And so that's kind of where this is going to be. I especially apologize at first for any hiccups with the equipment because I've never really done this before and I'm still learning a lot about the different things that I'm using. I might switch it to be on other audio-only platforms like Spotify and iTunes, if iTunes is a thing anymore. I guess it's Apple Podcasts. But right now I want to just kind of make this a YouTube thing so it's accessible for anybody, shareable. You can comment on it, and just kind of interact with it a little bit more. Like I said, basically what this is I have learned a lot and I don't really get to talk a whole lot, especially right now, because I am primarily staying home. Another reason for me being a little bit out of breath is because I am battling some kind of illness. I don't know what it is. It's probably just my allergies. It's not really important. I think a lot of it is just nerves. And that's just kind of where we're at. Also, I had a big dinner. I made some fire chili this week, and I had 2 bowls of that, and I'm still full from dinner. So that's the thing. I'm recording this at 10:30 at night just because what else am I going to be doing? This is also, it's more, it's funny junk, weird stuff, observations. If nothing else, it'll be a playground for me to work on my stand-up. There might be some music. It's just giving my voice a little bit of a playground. It's going to mostly be family friendly. It's not going to be any like majorly harsh topics. I mean, I wouldn't recommend you let a 6-year-old listen to something that a 25-year-old's, talking about her life, but if it helps, it helps. The no harsh no super harsh language. Because obviously, if I'm heated enough to be using the F word and the S word without thinking, I shouldn't be recording that and putting that out onto the internet. I need to like call my therapist. So we'll keep that at that. If there are any topics at any time that get a little bit deeper, a little bit more mature, I'll definitely have a disclaimer. But I don't plan on that happening for a very long time. A lot of this is gonna just be silly or like story time. Breathe. Just breathe. Is that a Michelle Branch song? I don't know. Why am I doing this? Well, like I said, I miss being behind a microphone. I miss having that connection and being able to talk about things. I really miss just freaking out my neighbors because obviously when I talk to have a tone in my voice, I'm talking a little louder. And I'm not yelling necessarily, but I live in a duplex and my neighbors know I live alone. So they probably are thinking that I am a nutcase right now, which they're, half wrong. But there's that funny part to it. I miss being behind mics. I miss being in a radio station. I miss being in an audio booth. I miss doing audio production. I love production and editing and just doing all that stuff. And I don't do that anymore. So I'm kind of taking this to do this on my own and make this my own thing. And there are definitely going to be weeks where like I'm super excited for some music stuff. So you're probably going to hear the same stuff that you heard on the radio, maybe like that an album came out. I'm definitely wanting to do like album reviews for music. Music is a really big part of my life. And those that can't talk about it. So that's where I'm at in that respect. Another big reason for me wanting to do this is I, like all of us, I've been through some stuff. And it's janky and it's weird. But some of the stuff that I've dealt with, some of the things are very relatable, I feel like, to many people of all ages, of all upbringings, etc. And I just kind of want to get it out there. Somebody might hear something, or you might hear something that either helps you or gives you a new perspective on something that can help you when you're going through something that's tough in your own life. Maybe some things that, you hear something and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that, or give you an idea of what not to do. Anything to where if something that I say comes out of my mouth and into your ear and it can help you grow or help anybody grow as a person, grow stronger, into a more loving individual or a better member of society. Like for anybody who needs to hear any of this, that's a big reason of why I'm doing this. I'm still working out the kinks of like when and how long. I'm planning on this being usually not any longer than 30 minutes because like honestly, I'm already out of breath. And like I said, a lot of that's probably just nerves. I'm staring at an audio screen, making sure that like I keep my volume and things in the same realm. Like it's just me trying this out. I don't want to have to do multiple takes of something because then it's not real. Then it's rehearsed. Then it's like, oh crap, I forgot to say this. I said this last time and I really think that it's important and I forgot to say it this time. Like I feel like when you do too many takes of something or you you piece things together like that, a lot of the meaning gets lost. Like if I have a coughing fit, I'm definitely gonna cut that out. But like this is real. This is me. This is just this is what it is. I'm wanting to maybe do something weekly. Like I said, I want to keep it on YouTube for right now so that people can interact and like and comment and share and stuff like that to just kind of get the feel of, what this is. Probably not going to do any more than 30 minutes each time. And, I might switch it to go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud or something like that at some point. I'm still researching on how to do a lot of the things like this. I know how to use YouTube. I love YouTube. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. And that's mainly what I'm focusing on just right now. That could change in the near future. It could change a little while down the road. It's, nobody knows. That's what I really like about this is I get to control everything about this, and I don't have to make my mind up about it right now. But if I keep waiting until I have everything mapped out, everything perfect, I'm not going to do it. About a month ago on my Facebook Live, I did some cover songs and was playing my guitar and singing just to show people I wasn't dead. And I announced that I wanted to do this podcast. It was almost over a month ago. And it took me that much longer to work out the kinks of just like a photo, a logo, if you will. Just an intro graphic, playing around just to find a really short little intro melody. It's you have to make yourself do it. And it took me a while to make myself do it, and I'm finally doing it. And that's why I'm not putting myself under too much pressure of wanting to make sure that everything's edited perfectly, because that's not what I'm wanting to do. So I'm going to keep it on YouTube. By all means, use the comments, because if you have a Google email, you can basically use YouTube and comment. Use the comments for any tips, any feedback, even if you know nothing about what I'm doing, nothing about the equipment, nothing about editing, nothing about talking in front of people. Any feedback is appreciated, because I want to grow and get better at this, because this is the sacrificial pancake episode, and I want to make sure the rest of the stack is pretty fire. So, for right now, we're going to keep it on YouTube. Just, if you're listening on your phone, don't lock your phone so the audio keeps going, and just, chill with me, chill with this. Gonna try and do it weekly. Don't know what day. It's probably gonna be sporadic for a little bit, just because I don't know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm not planning for this to be a forever thing. I'm planning on this to be me for a couple months, getting some stuff out there that I think would be fun to talk about. Some fun jokes, some funny things to say. Some of the things that I have on my list, because I love lists. I literally have a tiny little list notebook that's a long version of like the Blue's Clues notebook, and it says I love lists on it, and it is just a skinny little thing that looks like a grocery list pad, and I love it. And I have Post-its everywhere on my walls, just color-coded everywhere, because I'm currently in grad school, getting my master's in management information systems. So I have my microphone and everything set up at the same desk that I do my homework at. So this is very much my office. This corner of my living room that I'm in is my office. So it's by no means a professional setup. But this is what it is. Some of the things that I want to try and talk about. Like I have some ideas about like, I'm definitely not a popular person in high school by any stretch of the imagination. Even when I was pretending to be something that I knew I wasn't and I was in physical pain for it. Not a popular person by any means. So I have stories like that to tell. I have obviously the stuff that's going on right now is very important. I don't want to start this podcast off, or whatever this is, this sesh. I don't want to start this off and make this about my favorite YouTubers, the Game Grumps, are calling this the Backstreet Boys reunion tour because if you talk about what it actually is, you could get demonetized. So they are calling this the Backstreet Boys reunion tour that is sweeping the globe. And obviously that's not what it is, but we know what it is, and it's a very serious thing and a very important thing that we all take seriously. But I don't want to focus on that too much. I feel like too much of my energy has been put forth being scared, being angry, just all these different emotions about it that we're all feeling right now. But I don't want to talk about it that much. I just don't. I feel like I've ranted enough on social media. I don't want to get into it really any more than what I just did. So there's that. But like dreaming, a lot of people don't know anything about dreaming. Accepting change when you lose your job. When you, like the awkward moment when you see people that you kind of used to know. I plan on having some people talk with me in the future. Well, obviously we'll see where this goes, but I have a lot of different things that I just want to try and just play around with that I think would be really cool. And obviously in the comments, let me know if you have anything that could be cool, or maybe just a couple episodes down the road. Once this kind of gets rolling, just drop a couple words. Let me know that I'm not completely wasting my time. Let me know that I am wasting my time. I don't care. But for the first couple episodes, I'm definitely going to be reading the comments and seeing where that goes and try and mold things. So, because I am really excited to do this for a number of reasons. One of those is because it has been a rough couple years. And I have not found the motivation to do anything, whether it be for myself or just to leave my house without being prompted. I have not had the motivation to really do anything that I've wanted to do for a while. I talked about playing guitar on Facebook Live, and that's when I announced that I was going to be doing this. And that was the first time that I had picked up my guitar in over a year. And it's a really hard thing for me because playing guitar and singing is one of the things that makes me very happy. It helps me get in tune with who I am. And not even having the motivation to get it out of its case and look at it, because it's a beautiful guitar. If you've ever seen an Epiphone hummingbird, ooh, that's my baby. Her name is Claudia. We might meet her at some point, but it's a weird feeling of helplessness. I'm not going to get too deep into this, obviously, but it's a weird feeling of just like helplessness of I can't even do what I love to make myself happy because I'm so unhappy. And it's a really hard place to be in. It's something that I know way too well. And it's something that I finally am digging myself out of a little bit. Obviously I'm doing this. I'm very, very proud of myself that I was able to make myself do this. Even if this is stupid and it's a waste of time and everybody hates it, I still did it. And I made the music and I made the graphics. And I did something that I used what I've learned because I wanted to know how to do it. and I put it all together into one thing. And that's something that nobody can really take away from me, is the fact that I did it and I did it myself. Another thing that could be cool if I do this is actually doing a video. I have things to set up for video. I would be using my smartphone. I do not have very good video editing skills at all. And there's a reason that I keep saying I have a face for radio. It's because doing audio is so much easier. And I think it's a lot more fun because my eyes tend to shift away from where I'm supposed to be looking at. I look at the ground a lot. And it's something that, you know, it's my personality. Like when I talk about things, I'm really thinking and I'm really in tune in my mind, and that's just how I interact. Of course, I'm talking to myself basically right now, but that's the nature of this. And I feel like if I'm going to talk to myself, I do that anyway. I may as well record it so that people can see I'm not totally crazy. A lot of the thoughts and things that come out of my mouth are actual rational thoughts. And I know I wouldn't say anything about this, but it's not about it. It's about us. The state of everybody's mind right now is a little bit warped, whether it be from stress or being overworked, or being scared. A lot of the anger and stuff is stemmed from a fear of not knowing what's going to happen next. And I am not a professional therapist by any means. I actually have one of those for myself, which we'll talk about later. But it's the fact that so many different people are enduring different things right now. Nobody can really get mad for somebody being scared. And that's one of the main things that I've been trying to remind myself is a lot of the things that people are saying are stemming from fear of the unknown. And that unknown thing right now is everything. And one of the best things that I can offer is a sound voice, because the middle of March, the beginning of February was really hard for me. I started a new job. I was 2 weeks into the new job and actually getting the hang of it. And then I broke my ankle. Couldn't be at the new job. So then a month after was March 9th. I finally was able to come back home. Because I was living with my mom. Where I was just kind of staying with her while I was not able to walk. And I decided I was going to come back home and get around at home as much as I could so that I could just be me and be at home. And 2 days later, March 11th, everybody experienced a bit of a change. And then the next week, everyone in Illinois experienced a very big change. And I have been alone and unable to do a whole lot for a couple months now. And when everything got really crazy, and people were getting very, very scared because everything was very new, everything was just all up in the air. And of course the panic at the grocery stores and things like that. I just kind of looked out my window and was like, now everybody knows what it's like to be inside my head on any given day. Just chaos and fear and sadness and anger and just all kinds of different things all mashing together at once. And all these different thoughts and feelings going through and coming out in different ways. And I'm just kind of, standing there on my crutches, just kind of chilled, drinking some coffee and being like, all right, like, I guess I'll stay here for a little bit longer. And my job is one of those that is considered non-essential. So I currently don't have, both of my jobs. I currently don't have a job. And I can walk now. I've gone to physical therapy. I can walk. I can do things. I'm a little wobbly, but I feel like a Bambi trying to stand up. But it's things are very unsure right now, but a lot of people are going through the same thing that you're going through, and you're not alone, whether you are, like I said, overstressed, overworked, very tired, bored out of your mind, scared, just all these different things. Or if you are just kind of going along your days as normal because you don't really have any other choice than to do that. You are not alone in what you're feeling and what you're thinking. If you are stuck at home and you feel like you haven't done anything this entire time and you feel like you're lazy, you are not lazy, because this is something that is very weird, and you're allowed to think it's weird, and you're allowed to just kind of be like, okay, now what? And everybody, I think, just we needed a really, like, a chill moment to be like, all right, this is what I need to do now. And now I'm going to do it. Now I'm choosing to do it instead of being forced every day of our lives to have to do this on this day. Laundry, dishes, pick up the kids, stuff like that. So everything is very, very unsure, and I'm just asking everybody in the meantime to just be very compassionate and empathetic while we, figure out what is going on. Until then, next week, talking about what happens when a 2000s emo kid grows up, and that can mean many different things. Eventually, it kind of hashes out too. You grow up or you don't, because it never stops. So, and we'll talk about that. Well, I'll talk. You'll listen. I've just got legal pads filled with like stupid things that I feel are pertinent to share with people that don't know who I am. So we'll get into that. If you want to get notified of when I make this or when I put this next one up, click that bell, punch that bell so you get notified. Leave me a comment. Was this terrible? Was my audio awful? Was I screaming into the mic? Do I breathe too much? Do I say too much? Legit, anything that you've got, let me know. And I guess up until then, I'm just gonna say see ya, and we'll see what happens until next week.